We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
KY, how you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad I got through on the line.
All right, man. Hey, I know you got a hold of me today. We wanted to discuss this a little more. I know there's some stuff that you wanted to get into with parents who were kind of ripping on KYanonymous. Before we get to that, I got to ask you this. Are you even surprised at all the attention this has gotten within the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, actually, I'm very surprised. The victim has thanked everyone for their support and all the media for their support for bringing this to light and making sure it didn't get swept under the rugs. She sent a personal friend to thank everyone at the rally on Saturday over the microphone, who actually was crying while she was thanking everybody for the support and spoke on the victim's behalf. It was beautiful. So I'm just glad it happened.
It is astounding. I mean, this thing started in August. And to see now, even every single day, there's a new media outlet, somebody getting on board. I was just reading now Nancy Grace is going to be talking with Roseanne Barr about it tonight. Obviously, it seems like the majority of the city of Steubenville is really appreciative of what you guys have done. But there are still some people who are against what you've done. Why are they against what you've done?
Well, the good people who are against what we've done are basically being victimized by people who are using anonymous name in order to victimize innocent residents. And that's what I want to call into your show and address is we don't endorse that whatsoever. We are a peaceful people. Anonymous is a peaceful, idealistic group. The ideology is peace and transparency in government and change through peace. So those people are called provocateurs. They incite violence in order to give us a bad name, and we encourage the arrest and will assist with the arrest of anybody that does use our name for wrongdoings, basically harassing innocent citizens, calling into the school. There's great people at Big Red, and I just want to call into the radio show and address the immediate surrounding communities and let them know that Steubenville is full of great people, and they don't deserve to be victimized for a crew's actions, so to speak.
Well, I mean, we can't generalize here. I mean, this is just when you're looking at the grand scheme of it all, we're looking at a small group of people. So, I mean, there's like 19, 20,000 people within the city of Steubenville, surrounding areas and everything else. You're really only looking at maybe 15 to 20 people who've really done wrong. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, under the U.S. code, like Sheriff Abdella on the radio show out of Tampa was quoted as saying he's not familiar with federal laws and code. Under U.S. code, I think it's Title IV, misprision of felony. Everyone that failed to report that felony taking place that night and deleted the evidence is subject to this law and can face up to 3 years imprisonment under that title. And they can also, at the very least, for deleting evidence, be charged with obstruction, as CNN's legal analyst said. So we encourage whoever has evidence to come forward to, A, avoid jail time, and B, we've kept them all anonymous so far. And Michael Nodiana's attorney was just on, I don't know if you caught that, and he said we hacked YouTube and edited the video and stuff like that, and that is a falsification. Anybody with keepvid.com in their URL bar, whether they're a 4-year-old, can save a YouTube video. So I don't believe he knows much what he's talking about, and that'll show up in court. Again,
we're talking to KYanonymous, the group behind the hacking, which really brought this to global light. To be honest, the guy you just mentioned, he is. I was reading, he is no longer a student at Ohio State. Has he been expelled because of the video, or is he left because he wanted to leave? What's going on there?
Ohio State won't give a formal statement on whether or not he was expelled. They also have never reported us hacking Ohio State emails ever. So, again, that news conference on WTOV9, he falsified information on that. As well, they won't give us a straightforward statement. We can really be safe to assume that they came to a mutual agreement that it was in his best interest for both parties that they didn't attend that school anymore.
Yeah.
I've seen people like putting up pictures or flyers all around campus and on cars and stuff like that, that in that video what looked like a hunting rifle was on the ground, and if he was dormed there, that was a danger to other students. And, people that exhibit sociopathic behavior, it's your duty to report that. And anybody who is guilty of a sexual crime or maybe guilty of a sexual crime, it's your civic duty to bring that to light of your neighbors, and I really applaud the effort he put in.
So since you've held these rallies, since this has become really the number one story in the country right now, I'm hearing rumors FBI is getting involved, the Department of Justice. Is this true or not?
The Department of Justice, so far, I haven't had a link sent to me to verify. We did finally hit enough signatures. Again, WTOV9 tried to take credit for that. It's not about credit, but they sure didn't cover the case at the beginning, and they definitely didn't start that petition. A guy out of Maryland, I believe, started it. And anyway, the petition got enough signatures to garner an official response from the White House, so that's, I believe, how the Department of Justice will get involved. FBI has confirmed that they're offering technical assistance in the investigation, probably recovering media from cell phones, things that local law enforcement lack the tools for. So it should turn out to be a solid investigation, and that was our goal at the beginning of this op when me and you had our first interview, is just to get the proper authorities involved and make sure that every stone was turned over, so to speak.
Again, we're talking to KYanonymous. Is it you that's going to be on CNN, Anderson Cooper, tonight? I was reading something about that.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
I taped an interview with them previously yesterday, and I think they're giving me like a 3-minute segment to clear some rumors. I don't blame them for wanting to test the waters when they're talking to somebody from Anonymous. But hopefully that leads to more airtime where I can clear up any rumors that people might be hearing, such as, people going around to these houses of these people asking where the coach lives and stuff like that. That is not Anonymous ideology. That's a witch hunt, and we don't endorse that. We've laid out the facts that the defendants and those accused have posted themselves, and it's up to people to make up their own minds. That's the beauty of the judicial system.
But you had to know. I mean, you're not a naive person, obviously. You had to know by bringing this to light, by exposing the corruption going on in Steubenville. You had to know that people were going to get very angry about this and maybe take up some kind of a vigilante mission.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of it's for the good, and there's people in there that oppose us because of this vigilante justice that people are going around to these doors. And like I said, we'll work with law enforcement in order to turn those people over because we don't endorse that. But as far as, bringing people to light, that's very important because every citizen has a right to know all evidence in a case. That's embedded into, our Constitution, a trial of your peers. I don't really see how he's going to have an unfair trial at this point because he's not even getting a jury trial, he's getting a judge trial, and it's worldwide, so no matter where you move it to, I don't know what the defense is trying to accomplish with that.
I'll be honest with you, I think it might be a great idea to move it out there. At least then it might be a fair trial because even taking place in Steubenville, I don't think it'll be a fair trial, and I'm not saying fair as to it will harm the defendant. I think having it in Steubenville will help the defendants.
Yeah. I do agree with that assumption. I posted United States versus Steubenville, 1996 through 1997, where the feds came in and basically replaced all the police force for their roles in corruption and illegal gambling and stuff. And that's the bad side of people that are opposing what we're doing, that are calling in these threats to like Heavenly Grounds Coffee and Yorgos and places like that supported us during the rally. We thank them for their hospitality, but these people are mad, and they're calling in these threats because we're messing with their pockets whenever we expose the underground illegal gambling rings. We're messing with the main source of underground revenue that hit during the recession. And for that, we apologize. I think anybody should be able to place a bet if they have the money to spend. I don't think it should be illegal. It's a tax thing.
Right.
But I don't think that people should be victimized because they're supporting Jane Doe having a voice. That's not fair. And we will work with law enforcement in order to turn those over. If we got their phone numbers and their social security numbers and all that, what makes them think that we can't get the people who are placing the threats numbers?
I did want to bring this up. I interviewed Sheriff Abdallah last week. I felt it was only fair that I give him his side. There was a lot of stuff that he disputed that you guys said. He claims he's never had dinner, breakfast, anything with the coach of Big Red, which I'm hearing rumors he might resign. I don't know how true that is. He also disputed the claim that his brother's a big cocaine dealer. And this is all stuff that you guys have posted. And listen, I am 100% sure that there's corruption that's going on in Steubenville. And there's corruption that goes on into any community where high school football and college football is so important. It brings a lot of money to the city. Is there anything you guys have said that is untrue to your knowledge?
The only thing that's been proven untrue to us was that a young man was involved. I don't know if he's overage, so I won't say his name, but we did clear his name on the Internet. He proved that he was set up by his friends to take the fall with everybody else. He proved it with phone bill records. He was actually in Youngstown during the time of the assault, wasn't even present at the party, so we cleared him on that. Basically, with what Sheriff Abdallah said, he was on the Rogue radio show out of Tampa, and he signaled his respect for NightSec. He signaled his respect for Anonymous as a whole, and he's just very concerned about the people going around threatening his residents, as we are too, and we'll help him with that. And also Nazi Gods, the hacker group Nazi Gods, who are self-proclaimed not anonymous, they have compromised several email accounts and found child porn in Steubenville, and they forwarded to Abdallah's sheriff's office. Well, Abdallah said that he didn't know anything about it, and he never received anything. Therefore, he thinks that there's corruption in his own office, and he asked for a certified mail package that Abdallah will sign for it. That way we know that he received it, and that's going to be compiled and mailed out to him, as well as the Twitter accounts to people who said that they wanted to participate in the rape or people that were at the rape. That's all being mailed to Sheriff Abdallah, so you can expect charges in the very near future from that.
That's another question.
Really trying to redeem himself.
Okay, so he is working with you, because, again, I had him on the air, and I wanted to, again, I got to be fair with the show. This stuff that you guys are obtaining illegally, this is another question a lot of people had, and I don't know the law that well. The things that you've obtained illegally, like you're talking about child porn and emails and everything else, if you obtain it illegally, then give it to the sheriff or a chief or whatever. Is it then admissible in court because you obtained it illegally?
That depends. Hacking is admissible in court under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
We've seen that in the Stratford files with Barrett Brown, who was basically an outed member of Anonymous who took on Stratford security. He exposed a very plan documenting U.S. citizens nationwide, $6 billion. It's called Trapwire, databasing citizens with facial recognition, even if they didn't have a crime committed. So it's admissible under certain circumstances. It's kind of like a snitch selling drugs in order to nail the kingpin, so to speak. So that will play out in court, I'm sure. And the sheriff also acknowledged that Anonymous as a whole during this op hasn't broken any laws. We didn't hack YouTube to get the video. He acknowledged that. The video was archived. It was downloaded by a citizen and gave to us. He acknowledged that we didn't break any laws by releasing his personal information because he's an appointed official. His information is already public. So anything that we've released so far is readily available by whoever posted it online. They posted it first. We publicized it in the story. We didn't even have to hack to get it. So it is all admissible. I'm
sure there's plenty of people coming at you right now with their own personal stories of rape or whatever. I want to bring this up to you real fast, and I don't know what you'll do with it or not. The radio station is located in Alliance, and Alliance is Mount Union football, Mount Union College, Mount Union football, and it's a huge program in the area. They're very successful. Big revenue comes into Alliance, and it was just brought to my attention through some people in the hierarchy who are friends of mine that there was a very similar case that took place a couple months ago regarding 3-star football players who raped the girl, and that's been swept under the rug. I just want to bring that to your attention. I don't know what you could do about it, but there's some concerned citizens here regarding the rape and the cover-up going on at Mount Union College regarding these football players. So I just figured I'd make that information available to you. I don't know what you could do with it, but that's I know while talking about the Steubenville thing, a lot of stuff is coming up.
Yeah, and I encourage those with information to that to submit it to localleaks.me. That's localleaks.me, And Anonymous works in compliance with the People's Liberation Front. Commander X, a very famous hacker permanently on the run, also works with that site, and they will make sure that gets forwarded and posted for everybody to see and fully investigated. And also they can get me on Twitter. It's at KYanonymous. And, I get 150 mentions a minute, very literal number. My phone dies all the time from it. I've actually turned it off. If I don't see it, keep posting it. And when I do see it and I get a spare minute to breathe, I will definitely look into it. Right now we're focused on justice for Jane Does everywhere.
Yeah.
And if that's the case and we investigate and we find wrongdoing, we'll turn it up there too. I mean, we haven't been wrong yet, or we wouldn't have world media backing us.
What plans do you have for the near future with Steubenville? You had the two rallies, which were phenomenal. This past rally, 2,200 people there was outstanding. What do you have planned now for Steubenville now that the rallies are done with?
We're going to back up for a couple weeks, and we're going to hold a rally on February 2nd as a celebration of basically achieving our goal of getting higher authority involved. And we're going to actually show support for Steubenville and the people that have been harassed by us encouraging people to wear big red gear, make their own big red shirts and stuff like that. And we're going to just be downtown in a celebration that there is good people in Steubenville, and this is the revolution of Steubenville, and nobody is going to hold down Steubenville ever again.
Excellent. Well, listen, KY Anonymous, I appreciate you coming on the show. Keep in contact with me. We'll have you on again as we get closer to the February 2nd. But I'm hearing so much positive from feedback from my listeners. Really appreciate what you guys have done. A lot of people are giving me credit because I was talking about this back in August. I said, but I'm only one person. What you guys have done has been phenomenal in the city of Steubenville and the Jane Does everywhere. It was very emotional for me. We're all from mothers. We all have sisters, aunts. To hear all of those women come up and be very candid about their rape experiences and how things were covered up or justice wasn't done, it was really emotional seeing those people speak.
Yeah, it definitely was. It touched me in so many ways to hear them come forward. And this one girl said that beautiful was ruined to her by a man who raped her, and I was just like, wow. And then she took her mask off and said, I'm not hiding anymore, and goosebumps everywhere, So I admire her bravery. I actually told her that personally. I admire her bravery, and that was awesome. And I just hope more people can come forward and not be afraid to come forward. Don't be afraid to come forward with evidence. This girl's depending on you. Excellent.
All right, listen, KY Anonymous, I appreciate it. You'll be on Anderson Cooper's CNN tonight. I know Nancy Grace is talking about it with Roseanne Barr. What you guys have done is absolutely astounding, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, catch you later, man. Bye.